Namaste, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to do something very new. It's going to be a weekly Ascension energy update for you guys. I'm going to try this where every Monday I give you guys a weekly energy update, and I'm going to see how this goes for a few weeks. You guys can let me know if you like it, and we'll go from there. So as I normally do, I'll go ahead now and break up the video into a few different themes that can help sort of specify what I want to get across here. And also, I want to let you guys know at the very end of the video, I have kind of a big announcement I'm excited to share with you. It's something, a new thing in the works for me that you are all welcome to participate in. But again, I'll save that for the end of the video. I'll get into the energy update right now. Number one is I'm going to call it premature evacuation. Sometimes your life will push you out of a situation in a very obvious way, because it's time for you to begin, start upon a new path or open up a new chapter. You probably have a sensing of this. The timing might not be in a way where you feel comfortable with it. Many times the universe it decides where it wants us, and then it starts to affect your life in a way that will, again, kind of push you out of an old situation and into a new one. I'm going through this with my own life, and it's just kicked up a notch. I've mentioned before that the RV I'm living in right now, it's just breaking down. It's breaking down to just an obnoxious degree, and we're having almost an impossible time getting it fixed. We're just getting a lot of runaround. And this is not to be a complaint. This is because we're supposed to sit in this unideal state as it sort of intensifies. So the message is crystal clear. You're going to be very soon moving out of this situation. And me moving out of that RV is sort of a metaphor for my life purpose. I won't get into all of the details about that right now, but it's more symbolic and more important than just it's time to move out of your house. It correlates with a different mission, a grander, more of a universal purpose that my life is becoming apparent to me that it's something I need to do and want to do. But it's not something I can hesitate with, because again, life is breaking down the old situation. You might find this in your own life as well. Number two is you might find that you're still blocking yourself at times. There's just been such an inundation of awareness, and with that comes the realization of how many of the patterns we have are just completely self-sabotaging and out of alignment with what our greater purpose is, that is becoming now more and more clear in our lives. It's like we're living this double life. There's a part of us that is opening to more of our soul's journey, our soul's essence, and the awareness that is allowing that to happen is also seeing just how much there's this wounded inner child crying for attention incessantly that doesn't seem to be comfortable with any of these changes that are attempting to be taking place. So you might feel like a strong resonance with an idea or something you want to do, and like you're just constantly running into yourself, running into your old habits, your old emotions, your old patterns that seem to just lock you in to this loop of life experience. And it can be very frustrating. Trust me, I know it. I've gone through this on many occasions. But here's what I've learned is that when this happens, when you're really getting totally fed up with yourself, it means you're like this close to transcending that. And ironically, right before, even though you're close, right before you do it, you seem more hopeless and locked in than ever. But it's not the case. It gets to a certain boiling point, and then it's like, oh, you're free. So do your best not to get too frustrated with yourself. Understand this is the process of awakening, waking up to who you really are, and in the process you wake up to who you are not, and for a time it can seem to echo and wreak havoc in your life, but it's not going to last, I promise you. Just hang in there. Just play cool. Number three, you might feel inspired in light of all of what I just said, not because I said it, but because you might have the conclusion in your own mind that you might be seeking out some sort of healing modality. There are so many different awesome ways available on the planet to heal yourself, to release old emotions and traumas, and you might find just an intrigue towards one of them. I've had this in my life where one day I just woke up and sensed very strongly that I should be getting a past life regression. Something I never put all that much thought or energy into, and it just dawned on me that you got to do this, Vic. It became like an exciting idea for me. And then I got all these different synchronicities, and then I went and had it. I remember when I got to this place and met with this woman, I felt so backed up, so choked up that when we were just doing our like orientation, I started bawling. It was almost like my body was holding on to this stuff, and it had just become too heavy, and I just could not go on with it. So my higher self attracted, or shone a light on something that would work for me, being the past life regression, and me getting there. It's like my soul knew that, oh yes, you can let it go. And I had a tremendously, just an amazing, unburdening experience. Sometimes it's helpful to do that. We do our best. We're doing this on our own naturally, but sometimes we can just benefit from having some help. I have this new thing emerging in my life where there's a good chance I'll be going to Costa Rica actually for a week and doing this ayahuasca ceremony, man. I'm so like intrigued by that, and at the same time I feel like I need to do it. I need this week to just to let go of all this stuff that's bubbling up for me. So you might have this playing out in some way in your own life. You don't need those experiences, but sometimes you find yourself naturally attracted to them. In that case, you want to go ahead and follow that up, because it's going to give you what you sense it could. It's going to be an amazing experience for you, a very healing experience. Number 4 is something that's unrelated in a sense to all of this, but I felt it very strongly over the past few days, and that is just a strong sense, a strong desire to revolt, to rebel, to take part in the human liberation that is taking place right now on planet Earth. Human beings collectively are expanding in a way that's going to cause them to expand out of the chains that they're in right now. And when you're riding this leading edge, sometimes you just have that feeling of just like that indigo type of feeling, like I want to participate. It's where the anger, the frustration of being aware of how things are, how enslaved humanity really is, it transforms itself from anger and resentment and hopelessness to passion, to fiery passion. So if you feel that, then go with it. We could use the help. We can all, the planet can use your help. It's not easy. It's not easy to be a revolutionary. This could be in a very normal, mundane sort of way, or something very obvious like writing a book or starting a YouTube channel or something. Regardless, let that passion manifest in your life. You'll be doing yourself a service. It feels good to participate in something you believe in, and it will also help the whole as a whole. Number 5, this situation, which I'm always hesitant to talk about because it can be misinterpreted, but yet it is a factor for a lot of us who are going through this awakening, and that is the experience of like darker archetypal types of energies. We all have this fear energy, this primordial fear energy, and sometimes it manifests in doubt energy, or a fear, just I don't want to do this, it makes me nervous. Sometimes it can sort of materialize in like an experience like sleep paralysis or some sort of like negative entities in your dreams, or just feeling haunted in a sense. A lot of people contact me with this, and I'm not saying this is like a prediction for this week, but it's something I'm feeling right now. I had this experience a couple nights ago where I was just kept awake like a little kid afraid of the dark. I felt just waves of fear, like terror energy running through me. It had no real cause. I had the sense that there were presences in my room. Take that for what you will. And this happened. It's not new to me, the sensing of other presences and experiences like that. But for some reason, it scared me. It just surfaced all these different fears within me. And when I find that there are times where I feel like I pick up stuff And during those times, I'll do my own little rituals where I cleanse my aura with sage spray, which is sort of a real cheap, easy way to do it. It's what I personally use. There's many ways to do it, but if you feel like you're being, if you feel like you relate at all with what I'm saying, then just do a simple cleanse, get some crystals, go for a walk in nature, or just intend to purify your aura. Really, it can be as simple as that. But it's a common thing, and it usually is when you're on the cusp of a big expansion and a big growth spurt. You kind of bring to the surface some fears, which are just, again, they're just primordial fear, but sometimes it can manifest in many different ways. So if you're going through this, it's really nothing to worry about. It's a sign that you're really waking up big time, and you're doing a freaking fantabulous job, and you're about to transcend not only this little fear bubble, but also the manifestation of it. So do not worry. Number 6 is sometimes, even though you might have been feeling all over the place lately, when you're in the flow, when you are in the flow, you might have a sense that something big is happening, but big is coming. For the collective, there's always big things in the collective, but for your life, for your own evolution, for your own just life unfoldment. There are times in our life where it's just sort of, at a fairly steady pace, relative to the awakening people, which might argue that there's never such thing as a steady pace, but relatively speaking, there are times of stasis, in a sense, and then there are times of big improvements, big upgrades, big jumps, big changes. And there's a lot of different things going on right now. And I believe when you tap into yourself, even though sometimes we get lost in the surface of our own mental conclusions and concepts of what's happening, and we feel like, unbalanced at times, in the flow, out of the flow. When in the flow, tap in to that knowing. And I would suspect that a lot of you will have a feeling, a knowing, that this really is all leading somewhere, and it is. And it's going to have your best interest at heart, and it will. And you have a lot of blessings to look forward to, contrary to how things may seem in the present. Number 7 is just a reminder of something you probably have already discovered along your awakening path. And that is a reminder of just how fast everything can come together for you. Our higher self works in very mysterious ways. I wanted to say ass backwards ways because that's what popped in my head, but just very like, huh? What? Really? Come on, what's up with this? What's up with this? What's up with this? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my god. Oh wow, oh my goodness. Oh, that was impressive. You dealt me this and this, coupled with these emotions. Life was seeming to really turn on me. And in a moment, it all just connects together and illuminates this beautiful life upgrade. It's the best way I could put it. That's not doing the experience of it justice. Your life can just whip itself together very, very, very fast. And the feeling is absolutely exhilarating and mind-blowing and awesome and worth all the craziness that sometimes takes that precedes it. So don't worry. We're all doing a fantastic job. You're all on the path. You're all doing a good job. Just stay in the flow. Just do your best to do your thing. And just keep following your own intuition. And you can't go wrong, man. Okay, guys, as promised, I'm going to tell you real quick about this big announcement I have. It's going to be, I'm creating, and it's almost done, it's going to be an awakening coaching program. I call it Awakening Together. It's going to be a way that a lot of you guys who want to reach out to me and work with me and have questions for me, that it's impossible, honestly, to just keep up with the different emails and messages and comments. This is going to be a way that you can work with me without having to hire me as like a one-on-one coach, which is not cost effective for a lot of people. This is going to be a way that we can I want to create this group, this gathering of other people, and together we can go through this process, and you can have my guidance, you can have access to me where you can ask me questions and so forth. I won't get into too many details. I'm going to leave a link in the description box where you can click. It'll take you to a page which will give you more of the details of what I'm talking about here. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click that link. Otherwise, Regardless, have an amazing day. Thank you for everything. I'll see you soon. Namaste.